I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Afsoon Roshan Zamir Johnston, and I am a member of the Olympia Wellness Foundation team. I wanted to give you guys a little bit about my background and also tell you about a little bit about my wrestling journey and how wrestling has just helped me in overall life and what I believe through wrestling, the benefits that any individual can obtain that then they can apply to life and real life settings. My wrestling journey started back, I was born in Iran, and my father was a well-accomplished wrestler, and I guess we always wanted a son to follow in his footsteps in the sport of wrestling. And being an only child, I think I was his only hope for an offspring of his to follow in his footsteps in wrestling. And the fact that I was a girl, my father didn't let that be a limitation and thought, wrestling, as great of a sport as it is and as many life lessons that it teaches, it can also teach my daughter. And so we started off with my father teaching me wrestling technique and wrestling moves in our home in Iran, and this is back in the early 70s. And, fast forward to when we came to the United States, and I still enjoyed and loved the sport of wrestling and everything that it has taught me, and decided to pursue wrestling in the United States. And at the time, I didn't know where it would lead me. And in fact, where it has led me is I was able to earn the historic first world medal for the United States for women in the sport of wrestling. And, I went on to become a two-time world medalist for women's wrestling, and later ended up coaching many international and world championships for women's wrestling for the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our 2016 California Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee, Mrs. Afsoon Johnston. Congratulations, Coach Johnson, for not only being named the Women's Olympic Coach, but for all that you have done. Ladies and gentlemen, inducted in the 2016 California Wrestling Hall of Fame, Mrs. Afsoon Johnston.
I had the opportunity and the privilege to coach the 2016 women's wrestling team in the U.S. team in the Olympics that was held in Rio. So wrestling has brought me many, many successes. I had recently a biography in a book published titled actually Afsoon, Iranian girl overcomes obstacles to become an American success story. And what is success? How do you define success? To me, success is being able to be happy in life and really say that I've accomplished what I've set my goals and set my mind to accomplish. And, really the sport of wrestling is what has taught me that. Where with Olympia Wellness Foundation, why I joined this team is we're trying to educate and bring that same ideology and thought process that, for example, that I experienced and I gained through the sport of wrestling, and to share that. And the Olympia Wellness Foundation is a great tool for me to be able to do that, a great platform. And so to again tell you a little bit about my success and my story through the sport of wrestling. Wrestling, I believe, really teaches you the tools. Wrestling is a tough sport. Life is tough. And so you never know what life throws at you, right? There's obstacles that come along the way. There's definitely good times. There's bad times. Life is unexpected. We would have never guessed a few years ago that our whole world would be going through this pandemic. With the coronavirus, and there was definitely challenges. And so again, life is unexpected, and life throws a lot of challenges and obstacles and hurdles your way. And we need to, as people, be able to have those tools in order to be able to overcome those challenges and overcome those obstacles and lead to success. And again, like I said, for me, it was through the sport of wrestling that taught me those hardships, taught me to never give up, taught me that it's not easy. Wrestling is a great physical sport. And it has a lot of physical. It requires you to be, to be strong, to be flexible, to work hard, to compete and fight against an opponent. So there's a lot of physical aspects to the sport of wrestling. But what people don't realize is wrestling is actually more so a mental challenge, and it really develops you to be more than physically strong. It teaches you to be mentally strong, and that's what we need to overcome and to be able to succeed over challenges and obstacles in life. And that's what the sport of wrestling has taught me. There were many times that I wanted to quit. There were many times that maybe my wrestling match didn't go my way. In fact, people ask me, what is your most memorable wrestling match? And ironically, it's not the many matches that I've won or had my hand raised or, the medals that I wore around my neck. My most memorable wrestling match was the one that I lost in the World Championship finals. It was when I placed second in the World Championships. And the reason that is my most memorable match is because that was the most challenging match, right? My entire life I had been working hard to become that world champion, to be the best in the world. And here I was at the World Championships and things didn't go my way. And after that match, I could have put my head down and given up and just let that really get to me. But it actually taught me to keep going, to persevere, to overcome those challenges, and to work even harder to become even better version of myself. And that's really what led me to then go on to become an Olympic coach and to have the successes that I did. So wrestling really teaches you that. And a lot of people think that wrestling has traditionally been a sport for boys, for men. And what I would like to say and what I would like to plead with the fathers out there is wrestling is such a great sport, and it has so many benefits, and it teaches you so many things that please don't limit it to half the population. Let your daughters, let your girls also enjoy the sport of wrestling and learn the life experiences and learn the tools to overcome challenges and obstacles in life. And this great sport of wrestling teaches you that. So for boys, for girls, for men, for women, I really encourage you to, through the sport of wrestling, to really learn these life lessons and make that available. And again, through Olympia Wrestling Foundation and me teaming up with this amazing foundation and organization, we would like to bring that message to you. And so I hope you've enjoyed listening to what a little bit of my history and a little bit of my experiences. And I really, my hope is, my wish is that the future generation of boys and girls can continue with this great sport and to learn the life lessons, to be able to overcome challenges and lead to the successes in life that they hope for and wish for.